Hey guys, welcome back to Nerd This is episode 14, and today we're going to be talking about Gintama. We're going to be talking about some Ghostbusters. We're going to be talking about some Nintendo stuff. We are going to be talking about... What are some other things we're going to be talking about? I can't remember.
Whatever we want to. Remember, man, this is our podcast. We can do whatever we want.
It is our podcast. I forgot about that.
So we're probably going to end up talking about panties because of one person in the group.
I totally am fine with that. All right, so let's get started. The Ghostbusters trailer. I just got to see that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of on the fence about this. We saw a original trailer, and we saw a fan-made trailer.
Yeah.
And I like the fan-made trailer way better.
I think a lot of people do usually.
Okay.
Ghostbusters. Premises that they're doing another Ghostbusters. It's almost a reboot in a way. Would you call it a reboot? A reboot.
A reboot?
A reboot. Yes, a reboot. And instead of being, of course, they have now all female actors for all four characters that sort of have a matching character from the original. And they are still set in the same city, yet it's still the idea of Ghostbusters, but they throw away everything that isn't about Ghostbusters.
Adam, what do you think about the four women instead of men?
I don't really have an opinion on that. It's not... Gender doesn't really make the role.
I agree, but I mean, the reason I was asking, because I know that you hate, what's the word?
Misogyny?
Is that the word?
Yes.
Word.
Well, if you're talking about things going against women for the sake that they're women?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the basic word for it. There's
Okay.
a lot of other ones.
I didn't know if you were happy because of that, because they're like, oh, let's do four women.
Using all women is kind of more along the lines of a shift in the direction, like an overcorrection. So I mean, it's not bad or good. It's just that it's different.
Does the film, does it take place after?
Supposedly it takes place after, but they're throwing away a lot of the past characters, past information, stuff like that. They say they may mention like this was done once, but this is all just brand new stuff. This is their own story. It's their own beginning of it.
Huh.
So it's sort of weird is that they're paying slight homages to the past, but they aren't including them in this arc.
I mean, I don't think that that's an issue. It's been so long, and from everything that I can see from the trailer, it's not actually appealing to fans of the original. It's actually trying
the
to
fan-made one was a little bit.
Well, yeah, no. The fan-made one was actually pandering to fans of the original, not the direction that the actual trailer, which was shown more to be like, say, 21 Jump Street or what's another one? That singing one or the musical one? Mean Girls, I think, is the movie I'm thinking of.
I was thinking of like High School Musical.
I would think
No.
Rent.
No. Just like
Rent.
the type of humor that
I love
has,
Rent.
more slapsticky, more young and hip, kind of
A new generation humor.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
When I'm talking to,
Which is funny. Slapstick is counted now, but remember, slapstick started in like the 30s and 40s, and now it's our thing.
No. Slapstick is very different than it was back then.
Oh yeah,
Agreed.
So when I say slapstick, I'm not talking Tom and Jerry. I'm talking things that are
Dodgeball.
kind of. Dodgeball wasn't full slapstick. Are you talking about the movie or the game or
The movie.
Okay. Dodgeball did have some slapstick
Wait, you
humor.
thought I was talking about the game?
Wasn't sure.
How would that have anything to do with it?
When you throw a ball at someone's face and then they face plant or something,
okay.
the kind of thing that you could imagine dodgeball having that doesn't really happen in real life. But anyway, that's not. Anyway, to go more on point, slapstick now is more someone doing something stupid and some kind of minor harm coming from it to them that's trying to be humorous. Whereas slapstick in previous ones weren't necessarily someone being stupid and getting harmed for it. It was, in a lot of cases, just complete and utter violence that resulted in almost no pain, no lasting pain or injury that should have actually been...
Just sadism?
Yeah, like just complete and utter... evisceration in some cases, if you're going with Tom and Jerry, but they, just Deadpool back together.
So do you think the trailer the fan-made one was better than the original?
The fan-made trailer was more of a 90s, maybe late 80s trailer style. On top of that, it used the soundtrack and the style that you would typically see from a trailer in that type of an area. So if you were going to play a trailer for the original Ghostbusters and try to update it to today, that's more along the lines of how it would work. Because each of the scenes that were done with awkward pauses that are much more popular nowadays, thanks to movies like... what's the one where he tosses food, the Mexican food, over to a cow? Bessie or whatever.
The llama.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Thanks to Napoleon Dynamite, there's a lot more awkward pauses that are trying to be humorous that are much more irksome to people who don't like that type of humor.
God, Dana.
Yeah. So there are movies that take a lot of what happened in popular things and just throw that in there. And so it removed a lot of those type of scenes from the trailer and replaced it with comedic timing that would fit more within the trailer's time slot.
Now, they, in the original... Well, hang on. Tien, what do you think? Did you like the original or fan-made first?
I liked the fan-made, but I liked it because it was more secretive, actually. I think I liked that more. Less showing of the movie itself. More
Total agreed.
And,
Yeah.
and that was going to be my next question was, do you think because of the fan-made one, it was more conclusive? Or no, what's the word?
No, it was much more... Well, the
more guessing game. Than,
you didn't get a whole lot out of what the movie was going to show from the fan-made.
In the first trailer, the real trailer, they let the jokes play out.
And this is also what you saw with the two... Well, we'll link the trailer so you guys can see the comparison on that. But the first official trailer was about 2.5 minutes, I think, roughly around there. The second trailer, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could see... Yeah, you could see why. And honestly, I think... Because Adam's one of these type of people that the less you know, the better it is when you go see it. Sometimes. But for this one, I like that they did the fan-made one because it was shorter, but it was something we know about. It was Ghostbusters. It was something they're going to take and redo. So it was okay to like give a brief summary, give people who've never seen Ghostbusters sort of some information, just enough where they go, okay, so they're fighting ghosts. They have technology to do that. And, there's like one or two real jokes in it. Like in that one, just one that worked.
In the first one or
in the second one?
Yeah.
With the first one, as Adam mentioned, a lot of drawn out stuff, a lot of awkwardness, which sadly is this generation. You are correct. And a lot of scenes that you're like, I get a chuckle out of that, or that was all right. But it just feels like they're just filling in. They're not taking the effort. They're not creating something where you go, I wonder what's going to be in it. I wonder if it's going to be good. It's not making you want to go see it. It's just going...
It's like the editors are getting lazy. They're just like, just let it play out.
Well, I don't know if that's the case of the editors getting lazy or if...
Time change.
Worst case scenario...
Change.
Yeah, worst case scenario, it's not a movie that any of the fan of the original is going to enjoy because the humor type is one that's just entirely different than what the originals were. And
as long as it doesn't turn out anything like Dragon Ball Evolution, I'll be fine.
Well... That being said, or what I just said, that is what Dragon Ball Evolution is. It's not going to have any tie-in really towards the original in terms of what the source material actually was. Now, I'm speaking on 2 minutes and 30 seconds of a trailer. This is hypothetical situation, so don't take this and think, oh no, the movie's going to be awful. This is literally just if this is the case.
And as I said, we are just going with the trailer. We're just seeing what we view, and that's the biggest part of it. It's our opinions and what we think. Because honestly, we see a lot of modern trailers take that path, what they've done with this Ghostbuster one. I mean, the last one that did a well job of not showing very much or leaving you guessing was Star Wars, the Force Awakens trailer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they had a teaser, episode 7. That was it. When they showed the first intro trailers to give idea, they didn't show anything of the movie. They showed the creating or the process of making a movie, like scenes, images of of the X-Wing, of some of the characters. No real information. And then when they did the trailers...
Well, that was also a way more anticipated film, I think,
than
what Ghostbusters
Yeah,
is.
but that's the thing. It was anticipated, and a lot of people had expectations for it.
Mm-hmm.
So they made it in a way where you didn't know what you were going into.
Which I forgot to ask you guys that a long time ago. Did it break your expectations?
Which movie specifically?
The Star Wars, the newest one.
No, it actually fell short. I wasn't expecting much going in, and I got less. That's a very rare thing for me to have happen.
What about you, Tien?
I still haven't seen it.
What?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I have
We
no,
need to go see it if it's still out.
Now, I have had discussions with people, and they're of the opinion that it was nothing more than opening up for a new story, and that was why the character development and a lot of the other scenes were just...
As I think we talked about this before, that the episode 7 just felt like J.J. Abrams had Star Wars. He has to make it so people want to watch it. So he's like, we're going to take everything from the first 2 to 3 and sort of redo it so people can see we can take that information and work with it. And make it
because every single scene in that movie was more or less a scene from a previous Star Wars movie.
But since we're talking about trailers still, did the trailer make you want to see it though? Like it?
I avoided the trailer.
Oh yeah, you avoided trailer.
So-
But when you saw it, I forgot you avoided it.
Yes, for me, yeah.
Yeah, because did it tell you a lot about what was happening in the...
Not really. It just kind of showed a lot of mixture of just different things. And, to me, I like that.
And it kept you guessing, wondering what this means and stuff like that. Some trailers like that should be done like that. Some, with the modern day, can play by showing scenes or showing
I also
information.
think it depends on the
movie
genre type,
and
too.
the movie itself, because
Star Wars is an action type. Ghostbusters, this one...
Comedy.
Comedy.
Should be. Well, both Ghostbusters, this new one and the other one, are comedy.
This is true.
yeah, but but you said action. But think about how Deadpool's trailer worked.
Deadpool's
I have yet to
kind of...
see that, too.
You haven't seen Deadpool yet?
No, not yet.
Let's go see it.
I would love to see that today.
I have to go see that sometime.
Let's go see it after this. I don't care. We'll tell you what. After Nerf War, we're going to go see it.
But with Deadpool,
Yeah,
it was
have a Nerf war.
Deadpool's trailer that was able to play off of its. We'll show you scenes and information because it's a simple story.
Well, not only that, but I was disappointed by one thing, and that it didn't show a scene in the trailer and it play out completely differently in the movie, and then Deadpool go, wait, that's not how that worked in the trailer. That would have been a perfect joke. I'm disappointed that wasn't there.
That would have been so
cool.
great.
Yeah.
That would have been good. But the trailer was able to explain a lot of things into it and make it work well.
I'm trying to read your notes over there.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Cause
And
I can find a way to segue.
oh,
I'm
well,
not trying. I'm not trying to segue. I'm just
okay.
just trying to
you know
look.
what? We're just going to move on to the next subject after I say this.
Okay.
And I want your thought back on
We're
this.
completely cutting Tien off.
So you finish up what you're saying there, but I do have this one thing on trailers in general. The thing that I hate is when you have a plot twist or a larger event that's in relation to the movie and it's spoiled in the trailer.
Can I give you an example? Hold on. Have you?
there was a good. What was it?
No, I have one.
I have one. Let's see what's your example.
Mine is actually with a movie that was pretty good overall, but the trailer for it ruined what could have been a nice, very extravagant, very emotional
Plot twist.
Yeah. But it was done in the trailer, so you didn't feel any of that. And
What
that
movie
was
was
the
that?
reveal of the main character's mother as still being alive and working with dragons already ahead of when
So it is the same movie that I'm thinking of.
Yeah. How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Yeah, that one.
And I absolutely loved the first teaser trailer for it, which was him just riding on Toothless and then deciding, you know what, I'm just going to fall off and then wing it. That scene right there,
Wing it, dragons.
Anyway, but it was actually because he did take flight himself.
Yeah.
But that scene right there, it was actually a montage of trailers that were shown in that movie where basically every single one of them was me just going, I want to do that, I want to do that, I want to do that. I think it was like Spider-Man swinging through a city, then him falling off a dragon and flying, and it's just like a collage of different things, like powers that you want to be able to do just for that thrill. And
was spoiled all in the trailer.
well, no. Like that teaser was just him flying,
Okay.
dropping off a Toothless and flying. And I was like, yes, want to do that. And then the real trailer that came out later, it showed so much of that. There are still other plot twists and nice little pivot points that, you're not really expecting in the movie. Or, maybe you are. A couple of them are more straightforward.
I haven't got to see it yet.
But, in its own right, just that one scene alone being ruined, not ruined, but spoiled, does decrease from the overall movie experience just from the trailer. So, finding that line, you don't want to... I think that the movie would have done just as well without having that scene show as a trailer point and just show some mysterious person working with dragons, show him flying on Toothless, and show maybe a part of a dragon battle.
There's probably a fan-made one that's probably better.
Yeah,
That'd
I'm
be
sure
most
there
likely.
is. But, they had basically that trailer. They just added that extra element in. That didn't add to people wanting to go to the movie. That just detracted from the movie itself.
Tian, what were you saying?
Well, I was going to say something about Deadpool trailer, how it worked, because it was a simplified story and that it was able to play that because a lot of people can just get an idea of it. And he explained it because a lot of people don't know superhero comics and stuff like that. They only get it from movies.
Right.
So he was able to use that and just go, hey, this is my story. Just come and have fun with it. And it worked for it. But for trailers that ruin or make change movies, I could think of 2 classic ones. So you guys could think about this. And one that's recent. First classic one. Have you guys ever seen... You guys seen Terminator 2, of course, right?
Yep.
I never actually watched it.
You sadden me, sir.
Sorry.
Come on, it's a classic. That's why.
But wait, I think I know this one, though. In the trailer, they reveal that the Terminator from the first one comes back as a good guy.
Yes. Think if they didn't do that, if they just played the trailer with the Terminator and the T-1000, and you just see them fight. That's all you get.
That would have been enough.
Yeah, and then you watch it and it's all the twist happen
Yep.
there.
Yeah, that would have been really nicely done.
Second trailer I've heard is Star Wars Episode 1. The trailer was great, but if they took away when he used the double lightsaber, that would have made the movie a lot, because that was like the biggest thing out of that trailer.
When Darth Maul used the...
Yep.
No, I
Okay.
actually agree. And that's not even plot related.
That's not even plot.
That's just a
Yeah,
really
but,
nice build-up
hang
moment.
on. Was that more of a grabbing? Like, hey, whoa, a new lightsaber.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but you have to think of this. If they didn't play that and you went to watch it and you
It
saw...
would have been way better.
You would have saw that, and that would have been
That-
what people would talk about.
Yeah, that would have been a moment where you literally just popped a boner in the movie theater.
Because alone, just seeing him alone, because he's, a dark red and black with spikes, he looks like a higher up lord of a Sith lord of some sort.
he goes up like a punk.
Yeah, and then if you just saw one blade, you'd be like, oh, this guy looks awesome. I'm going to go watch this.
Or if
And then
he-
saw that, that would have been
Or
way
if
better.
you just saw him like stand aside, hold it, and it just pops that one side and just goes black.
Yeah.
And then you when you go in there see it do it on both sides, you'll be like, oh my gosh! And that would
No,
have
no. Even better. Show him hold out his lightsaber, then fade to black, then you hear 2 lightsabers
Yeah.
start up.
Yeah.
that
Because
would've
then
been
it's like,
cool.
all right, who's he fighting? And then when the movie
Yeah.
actually shows up, it's just his. And you're like,
oh gosh, that was loud.
Oh, that hurt.
Okay, but see that was another that was painful.
You should totally see the wave transfer on that. It's like just a big block.
Yeah, and the third trailer, which is a modern one, which I won't say if you haven't seen it, is Superman v Batman or Batman v Superman. Have you seen?
I'm sticking away from that.
I haven't got to
Okay.
see it yet.
I don't trust trailers anymore.
Okay, there's a scene in it that
Good reasoning.
Yeah, there's a scene in it that changes how the story goes. You're going, really? You couldn't keep that secret? It's pretty much like it's pretty much a scene that tells you really couldn't keep that secret, and you couldn't just leave that in the movie because they have the setup of Batman versus Superman. And yeah, that's what it is.
Yep.
Okay, so let's move from one film style to another with.
I don't know. I can't see the notes.
Okay, it's the movie that came out this Friday that didn't come out here for us. The Boy and the Beast, or
Oh, yeah. The Boy in the... yeah, is that what it is? Boy
Yeah.
and the Beast? Yeah.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure you're wrong. It's Beauty and the Beast.
yeah, it's Beauty and the Beast.
The Boy and the Beast is an anime movie that I've heard a lot of good things about, but I forgot what I was going to talk about it.
It got released this Friday. Well, this past Friday, it was released in the U.S. And I was excited to go, oh, that'd be fun to see with the group. And, we do an anime thing with that. Typed it in to see if there's any tickets in Oklahoma. Nope. No tickets. And the closest one is, I think in Texas.
Oh, yeah, that's
Road
what
trip.
sucks. I'm totally
Yeah.
down for a road trip for
I
that
was gonna
movie.
say we would go see the movie and then go to a spa.
Oh, God.
Oh, wait.
It'll
I wonder if it'll still be in April.
It'll be gone. It will be gone.
It's only going to be like a week worth.
It's going to be at least, if it maybe a month, because it said release in the U.S., but like always, it's a limited release. And that's the thing. I mean, it did well in Japan. It won several awards. It's a very good story, I've heard. Great reviews. And,
Yeah, I've heard several really good reviews
Yeah.
about it.
And, it's the idea of we're trying to see if we can get more anime movies, more, at least decent ones, because there are some bad ones.
To be fair, we have had a couple of different commercial style failures. Just look at the Pokemon movie. That only appealed to small children at the time, and I believe only 3 of them were released in the theater on this side. But over in Japan, they're all released in theater with a lot of different promotional material. So the third one, I think, was the one that didn't do well enough to justify having them in theaters. And so when you're looking at different anime movies that, actually make it to the theater, I don't recall, did Spirited Away make it to theaters?
Yes, that's why it won an Academy Award. It was one of those.
Okay.
It was a huge one.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Did you tell them that it's coming out this Friday?
It came out
in the U.S.
Yeah, it came out this Friday, the 4th.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And but that's the thing. I mean, Spirited Away did well. We also got Howl's Moving Castle. I think that did very well in the U.S. And that was actually released all over U.S. Naruto, but a lot of movies still get the limited release, so you have to go through some companies' travels to get.
Another aspect is that they're also tie-ins. Pokemon was the one I was going to kind of segue that with.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Naruto movie, you have Dragon Ball Z movies, you have Gundam Simi movies, you have.
What Gundam Simi movies are you kind
You could argue that any of the OVAs from Gundam Unicorn would fit within that. A lot of the OVAs that are coming out now are what you could almost put into a cinema as a standalone movie.
If sorry to interrupt you, but if the listeners don't know who created this movie, it's the same creator as Summer Wars and Wolf Children. So if that kind of gives you an idea of what this movie is going to be like.
Yeah, you would really want to see this.
Yeah,
one.
so it's Hosoda is the creator. And he created those 2 other movies that are fantastic. If you guys have not seen Wolf Children or Summer Wars, please go watch it. They're really good.
I haven't seen Summer Wars. Did see Wolf
Summer
Children.
Wars is pretty
Basically
much
Digimon.
Yeah, it's pretty much the exact same movie as the Digimon movie.
Well, I haven't seen that either.
You don't like Digimon, so I can't figure out if you would like it or not. I think you would really enjoy Summer Wars because of the whole idea.
I would, because Digimon kind of leaves a bitter taste in my mouth.
Pretty much what Hosoda did, he made the Digimon movie because he had this idea in his head. He's like, oh, this would work really well with this Digimon series, because he was able to do the movie and a couple of the episodes. And so, doing that, he got to bring his idea to Digimon. And a few years later, after it did so well, he's like, you know what? I'm going to actually come up with my original idea, the way I wanted it, and I'm going to make my own movie. And it did good. And then now he's making, Wolf Children and The Boy and the Beast.
It seems like he's doing more. I mean, I can't really speak for Summer Wars, obviously, but from what I do know about Boy and the Beast, it does seem like he's going more for a very different life telling, like a situation that's very relatable, while at the same time being a very fantastic or fantasy or something that's outside of the realm of possibility. Mm-hmm. So something that, gives you that feeling of I'm escaping reality while still telling a story about life.
Yeah, that's what Hayao Miyazaki and Hosoda does. And that's why I think I really enjoy these 2 creators, is because they do that exactly. They take you out of reality, but keep you within life, life.
Real world problems.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's one reason why Hayao Miyazaki is such a good director, because he brings those aspects to the table, and so does
he lets
Hosoda.
You escape your life and enjoy someone else's life with their own problems and difficulties and overcoming them, which kind of gives you that feeling of not satisfaction, but that accomplishment.
Security?
Kind of at the end. Like that you feel like you accomplished something along with the character, which is strange. It's a
great feeling, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there are 2 different types of stories that you can get a similar feeling from, though polar opposite to an extent. For example, tragic romance stories where something happens and you're seeing 2 characters interact in a very emotional way, but something happens and it doesn't work out, or one of them dies. You still feel that sense of accomplishment as you're watching through it, and then that sense of loss at the end.
Yeah.
But it's still something that's very enjoyable, even with that terrible feeling at the end. It's an enjoyable terrible feeling. It's weird.
Tien, do you know what the movie is about, The Boy and the Beast?
No,
Like-
because I haven't looked anything up because it looks like one of those movies that I don't want to be surprised with. I want to see because Wolf's Children was like that for me.
No, I agree. That's a great call.
Do you know anything about it?
No.
I know a very small amount.
Yeah.
Same here.
I read a couple lines of the description. I was like, okay, so it sounds like this would be the kind of movie I would enjoy.
Yeah.
But I stopped there.
Yeah,
So
'cause
I don't know
I
enough to
don't
actually
really
convey.
know much about it. I've only seen very, very small trailers and a little bit of art.
Yeah.
All I know is it's about a boy, and it's going to be a good movie. And there's this big giant. What is it? A bear? A dog? What is it? That stands next to him. He has like a wooden sword, something. And I'm guessing it's a friendship anime.
Yeah.
Anime movie.
Yeah,
That's
I-
another
I-
thing I was wanting to bring up a couple of podcasts ago.
Okay, here's a simple thing. Okay,
A simple description.
yeah, simple description. Nothing.
Kayuta or Kayuta.
Yeah, slips
a
in,
name that we're mispronouncing.
yeah, slips into an alternate universe where he is raised by a bear man. I can't even say the name. Kuma.
Kumatetsu.
Yeah,
Kumatetsu.
Kuya is eventually thrust into an adventure which spans both worlds. That's all. That's all I need, and it's just simple like that because it's an adventure story. It's a type of It's a growing up story because he does a lot of those type of themes growing up. So that's why I didn't want because I want to see how he makes the characters mature. That's why I didn't want to read anything
I
yet.
wish the movie was playing here. Oh, back to my thing I was wanting to ask you guys. Do you guys think that we're starting to get a lot more anime movies? And do you think that's good for the States? Like,
Well,
and good
no,
for
we're
like
not, and it would depend on the movie type. Like, if we were just to have like movie tie-in series sequel things, no, that would not be good. That wouldn't necessarily be
No,
bad.
I'm saying just like an anime movie of its own standalone.
Yeah, if we had more of those and they were of the same quality as Miyazaki or things like Wolf Children, then I would
Hosoda.
say,
Hosoda is the
Hosoda.
creator.
then yeah, I would say that would be a good thing because it's an entirely different storytelling than what we have over here, and it would be something that different directors that use their own style here could kind of incorporate different elements of and expand storytelling as a whole.
Which we are seeing in subtle things like Avatar and with what was the other series, Ruby and stuff like that. We are seeing some ideas like that being pushed.
Do you
And I
think?
love those.
Do you think that it would be better to focus more on standalone anime movies
Yes.
instead of random, not worth watching animes that are coming out so fast that you?
No.
No.
You're using a wrong comparison.
Okay.
Standalone movies are much better than a lot of series would be over here because for series, it's much more difficult for someone to just pick up and watch.
Right.
Like if you were to try to pick an anime to have someone else watch, you would have to be more cautious about what you said because your opinions and your likes have been developed over a longer period of time towards anime style of storytelling and character
And
development.
it could persuade them into going either one direction or the other.
Because speaking as someone that's on the fence as a whole, it's very easy to be like, all right, anime is bad or anime is great. And for me, it goes into both categories because there are some animes that fall very far into the incredible side and a whole lot of anime that falls very far onto the shit side.
Agreed.
While your opinion on what that is going to vary, the more
and
of a
depending
weeb
on-
you are, the
Yeah.
more they slide to the great side.
Well, agree and disagree. It also depends on the genre type that you like and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So,
All right. Well, let's change it to our
what's
anime.
the next segue?
Well, I was doing it, and you just said now that obviously.
Hey guys, let's segue.
Yeah, I was going to go from.
All right, everybody, hop on. We're going around the block at 5 miles an hour.
Yeah. I was going to go with.
What should I say?
Well, I was doing that. I was about to segue into it.
Okay,
I was going to
now
say
that
we
they don't know that we're
literally had a
segueing-
perfect way to segue without
I
using
w-
the word segue
Yes,
or discussing it at all.
Yes, I was going to, and then you changed it. You said, "Let's segue." Okay.
I'll sit in the corner. You guys just keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, put your dunce
Zach,
cap on there.
Our next subject. Our next subject was going to be gateway animes. That's why.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a fantastic.
Yes. Dang it. All right. Gateway animes. As I said, Zach here is our anime connoisseur.
Anime guru.
Yeah, compared to me and Adam. You know,
Not really.
It's true. Adam's very particular on his anime, and I'm more of a reader.
It's funny because I've been like this whole year I've only seen like a total of maybe 10 animes.
Yeah, let's not mention that to the crowd, can we not? All right, so
I mean 10 times
We're
10.
we're a
Yeah.
very casual anime group. Except you're such a weeb.
Agreed.
oh god. All right, so
What do you guys think good gateway animes are?
well, it depends on, of course, depends on the genre or style of a person. Like you know, if you want action, you want comedy, slice of life, drama,
Mystery,
horror, you know that's.
murder.
But I would say, because we've all agreed on this one, definitely a good starting off one, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. We all agreed on that.
Agreed.
Yep.
It has a lot of Western Eastern combinations.
And it has so much like within that one genre. Like it has so many genres within that one anime. It's got comedy, it's got action, it's got slice of life, it's
got
got
a little-
romance.
it's got
it's
a
got-
little-
It minimizes a lot of the Japanese tropes.
it makes it more Western.
Yeah, and a really good example is that there is buildup between Edward and
Al.
Winry
Oh.
throughout the series. They never really act on it, but then once everything calms down, Edward actually asks her out. I mean, I want you to honestly tell me how many animes that you have watched have they ever had a point where a main character has said, "Hey, let's go out."
Yes.
Yes.
I watch those type of animes though.
Yes, I do watch a lot of those too. I read a lot of those
You
too.
don't. You watch a lot more action or comedy.
I've read a
So
lot.
okay, you're
Or
talking
mystery.
specifically about your slice of life style.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
or the love romance.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the romantic-
Remove those two that are about that from
Okay,
the
then
equation.
to answer your no. Or
Exactly.
to answer your question, no.
So it takes something that's very real and something that's able to be told within a story that's outside of that specific genre and incorporates it in a way that makes sense for the circumstances.
Because it's mainly an action anime.
Mainly, but
And so
well,
having that
I
in
don't know
there
that
is
I
odd.
think more of it would be mainly a mystery or
Adventure.
Adventure, yeah.
developmental.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Because-
that's the thing. It has one of the best character developments you've seen in a lot of animes.
Mm-hmm.
You see the characters grow. You see them actually take situations and have to change and mature with it. I mean, honestly,
Death affects a lot of the characters really
Yeah.
well too. They don't overuse death, but when it happens, it's important. It's
And
not
it
something that's
hurts.
skimmed over. Yeah.
and, I mean, they've had like even if a death happened in I think like I'm trying to think of the child. You know, the kid who got changed.
Yeah.
Was that one episode that happened, or was it a couple? I'm trying.
There were 2 episodes in the original series. I don't remember if Brotherhood had it happen in one.
But that happened, and that was in how many? Like very few, very slim episodes, like 1 or 2, maybe 3 max.
But it's one of the most.
Detrimental,
like
like
you
destroy your
yeah,
heart.
Yeah, we're all sitting there like, oh, God, you know, just like, and then and then they had to take
No
care.
spoilers.
Yeah, they had to. Why it's been out for?
Because it's so good that even
Okay.
if it's been out
But
for so
then
long,
they
you gotta watch it.
then they followed up with a scene that you went, oh my, really?
Yeah, no, it went very dark, very quick, and in a way that.
Hey guys, let's take a left turn.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't like a sharp left turn like that. Like it was the story way it telling and the way that it was going never gave you that sense that it wasn't ever capable of going that way. It's just that it did it with with such
Precision.
yeah that it felt more like a sharp left turn.
It had a lot of G's going into the turn.
Yeah. But actually, that's not even the biggest death to me. The biggest death to me would be the phone booth death.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. Let's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a good one.
Because that character, to put it this way, that's the character that.
No one wanted to really see happen.
Well, think about it. What director would you think of that would definitely kill that character? No questions asked.
Tarantino.
Nope.
He would
Well,
kill
probably.
yeah.
But think about
Michael
it.
Bay.
They are known for killing very specific characters, and they do it in every one of their series.
Kubrick does some twisted stuff.
Have you seen Firefly?
It's been a long time.
I don't think
The
I've seen
Avengers?
Oh yeah, you're right.
it. Who?
Oh, yeah.
Who are we talking about?
Whedon.
Yep, Joss
We-
Whedon.
Oh, okay.
He is very well known for killing people's favorite character. Actually, to be fair though, each of Joss Whedon's characters are pretty much everyone's favorite character. So he can't kill somebody in his show and it not be everyone's favorite character.
Yeah, Buffy was like that. I watched Buffy. I don't
Buffy
care
the
what
Vampire Slayer?
Yeah,
Yeah, I watched it too.
Yeah.
I watched more Charmed.
I like Charm.
I love Charmed.
Okay. Let's keep going with other gateway animes. One that is pretty obvious and a lot of people usually put is Cowboy Bebop.
I thought you said we were not going to discuss that.
We're gonna say 2 sentences, but you have to think about it. It is one of the first ones.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Everybody that I know has seen it, except Ashley.
Really?
Yeah,
That
she's
music, the soundtrack is amazing.
Oh yeah, I've downloaded it several times.
Yeah.
It's okay. I would say that that's a great gateway for anybody who plays Call of Duty.
Agreed. Yeah, that would be a really good. What would you call that?
A frat boy anime.
Yeah, preppy.
Yeah, we're gonna go with that.
Preppy anime?
That's my take on it. It's not a bad show.
Now
by any
we're
stretch of
not
the imagination.
saying that it is a preppy anime. We're just saying that it's good for those type of people to
Yeah.
gateway
Ryan will-
into anime. So go
Ryan will
find your
pull-
preppy friends and go throw this anime in their face and say, "Watch it."
Ryan would put a gun next to both of you guys' heads right now.
Well, you know what?
It's
Ryan plays
fantastic.
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think he likes
no,
that
no,
I
game.
don't think he
hates-
does that.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure he
But
really doesn't.
I
like
mean,
it at all.
honestly, it has great music. The characters are really well done, all in
the
all.
character's
The
awesome.
stories are quick stories. I mean, there is an overall arc story, but each episode is its unique episode. Maybe a couple 2-parters, so it's short. It's like 23 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, and in that style, it's actually much more similar to a lot of Western storytelling, which is each episode is contained to its own story, but the characters slowly
And
evolve
it doesn't
over
have a lot of Japanese history or tropes or
Because it's a-
visuals.
Yeah, so that one's
Well,
a
it's
good one.
actually designed after a more Western theme anyway.
Right.
It's supposed to be a space cowboy.
Kind of like a Trigun.
Trigun's a little more Japanese.
You know that it did terrible in Japan and did great in the States.
That I can understand, but
Yeah.
it's a Japanese themed
Western.
shooter in space. So yeah, it did better over here because we are all about the Western, like shooter cowboy thing. But over there, even with all of the twisty things, it still didn't do as well because it wasn't Japanese enough.
Like a Roni Kenshin.
Yeah, like there wasn't as much influence, and the tropes that were there were enough to bother people who hate tropes, but not enough to be detrimental towards the overall type. There wasn't enough trope, if you will.
Okay. So, because we're going to be cutting ourselves with a lot of time, let's just each name one
Are you
and give
saying
a
we're
reason.
emo?
Yes, we are emo. So let's each name one that you would recommend for people.
Okay, as much as I don't want to say it, but everybody likes it. It's a fantastic anime. There's a lot of good live actions out there. I know you guys don't like live actions, but I do. But Death Note, I think that's a really good gateway anime because it's more of a mystery. A lot of Western shows today are murder mysteries. You know, a lot of people like that kind of stuff. And adding a little bit of fantasy
Yep.
is a cool thing because a lot of anime has a lot of fantasy.
Yep.
So if you don't like anime, you could watch the live actions. If you don't like live actions, you can watch the anime, or work their way into anime by watching the live action, getting them used to the story, and then being like, "Hey, there's a cartoon version of it. Check it out. Tell me what you think. It's a lot better." And if you like that, go check out the manga. So I think that would be a good little gateway.
Okay, Adam.
Mine would be Psychopaths. It's again follows that thriller mystery, slight fantasy. It's actually something that I could easily see being translated into a live action show produced in the States, because there's not a whole lot that goes in there that's outside of the realm of Western fantasy or sci-fi, more accurately. It's kind of a dystopian future setting. A lot of questionable morality choices, questions on what is right and what is wrong in a society itself, where to draw the line.
Is there a lot of political stuff?
Not political in vote left or right, but political in
What is right and what is
society,
wrong?
yeah, in a societal way. So yeah, it's a political science mystery, science fiction mystery.
Is
Yeah.
it kind of like, because I haven't got to watch it yet, and everyone's going to be hating me for saying that, but especially Ryan, he's been trying to get me to watch it for several months now. Is it like Ghost in the Shell?
Yes and no. Ghost in the Shell, I think, goes a little bit more sci-fi than this one does.
More
This one's-
futuristic-ish?
Yeah, this one's much more about the psychology, and that's
Makes sense on why you like it.
yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, Ghost in the Shell was very psychological. It's just this one focuses more on that as opposed to some of the additional technology that you get out of Ghost in the Shell itself. So, yes, but they are very, very close. If you want to recommend one to somebody, you could recommend the other just as well.
Tien, what is your gateway anime for recommending anime?
It depends on what I'm looking for. One that is sort of weird to me, but one that still sticks in my head is works from Seiji, and his is like Suzuka, or A Town Where You Live. It's basically a slice of life and slightly drama, but it's about a person moving back to a town and growing up and dealing with the situations. It's about them, living, falling in love, friendships, and just odd little things here and there. But basically, it's just living. It's just growing up and how you have to deal with situations about, moving away, separation, coming back, and, dealing with changes in school, changes in life, and changes in situation. Because honestly, that's what we all deal with. But you always want to see how, even through it all, there's determination, there's effort to actually continue on with life.
As much as I love slice of life animes, I don't know if a slice of life anime would be a good gateway for somebody just starting out or getting curious about anime, because that's more of a slow.
I think it would depend on the individual.
Well,
Yeah.
I agree to that also, but like I
if
don't
they
know.
watched a lot of like Friends, Frasier,
Yeah.
things like that, Slice of Life would probably be something that you would want to look for as a kind of opener.
Maybe that's why I like slice of life.
Another one would be if they watch Game of Thrones religiously. If they watch other things that are in a similar vein to Game of Thrones, which is fairly small at this point. Another good one would probably be Attack on Titan. You know, if they're okay and really like character death, or darker, grittier stories, then Attack on
Berserk,
Titan would
yeah,
probably
Attack on
fit
Titan.
more.
Which
in line
I
with that.
actually know a lot of people that was their gateway into anime was Attack on Titan. There's a guy at my work. I paint aircraft for a living, and he's like 32 years old, and he's never seen anime except that. And he's like, yeah, anime's cool. And so, it all depends on the type of person you are and stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
no, I mean like when you're picking something to show, anime is as diverse as
It's a
all
coin
of Western
toss.
TV here, because anime is basically their regular TV. So when it comes down to different genres of anime, that's more like saying. Speaking of anime, is more like saying Japanese TV. So when you're trying to compare it over here, it would be like, all right, what would be your gateway TV show? That's essentially how it translates.
That's difficult.
Because it's like, all right, well, Frasier's a great one for everyone, right? Well, not
Ashley
everyone's going to
would hate
enjoy those.
Frasier.
Yeah, not everyone's going to enjoy the humor style of Frasier.
Cheers.
Friends is another great one. Well, not everyone's going to enjoy Friends humor style. Will and Grace.
Seinfeld.
You can throw out any of
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
And they
funny
are
that we're all
great
going with,
choices
like-
in general, and they're going to hit a lot of people. But it has to be based upon the individual and what their likes are. So you can look at what they watch in general. So if you had never seen any of those TV shows and you were, like you mentioned, Slice of Life, my first go-tos would either be Frasier or Friends.
Yeah.
Um,
Because those are
Or
my-
Cheers. I like Cheers.
Yeah, and see that's the thing. When people are starting off, you don't want to give them a long series. You usually want to give them something.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, that's when they're later along. It's like
you
like
need to watch Naruto.
hey, I don't like Naruto as much. It's
No,
like
I meant like if you're trying to introduce someone, that would probably be the worst one to show.
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
maybe One Piece.
hey, I would introduce this person to One Piece in a heartbeat, and you know that.
Hey, you've never seen any animated TV shows ever. Okay, here I'm gonna show you one that has 600 episodes.
Hey, I
731.
I found 3 strategies to watch that and read that series. I gave Zach one, and he still never read it. So I was like, okay, never mind. All right,
Yeah, but I did watch the live action. It's amazing.
of what?
That is a
GTO?
show that
No,
I
no,
would
no.
never
Yeah,
want
the
to fall
GTO. I
behind
said
on.
One Piece.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah.
were talking about GTO.
No, yeah, but you don't.
GTO, go watch it. It's awesome.
Okay, but we'll say those 3 starting off, and we'll always give opinions of other ones because once in a while we'll mention a past anime or a past manga series that we'll like. This is good though. This is one you should try out because we want you guys to actually see what different aspects, what different choices we made, and why it's good and why it's not.
Let's play Nerd Stump.
All right then. All right, so
I'm good at these segues.
yeah, you're great.
Yay, I ruined it again.
I'm gonna get you pieces of a segue each time that you do a terrible segue.
By the end of the
by
show, I'll have a
end of-
full
yeah,
show.
like at the end of the year, you'll actually have a full segue.
All right, so Nerd Stump. If you want to know how Nerd Stump is played, listen to our past episodes. They're on they're on actually YouTube and SoundCloud. So who wants to start?
I'll go first,
Okay,
just to change it up.
okay,
All right, so mine is a anime character,
okay.
and the first.
Oh, hold on. Actually, 1 sec before that. Final clue
Oh
for
yeah,
last
Oh,
week.
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Dragon Sword.
Okay, then. Now go.
Okay, mine's an anime character, smoker, hunter, and Jericho.
Spike Siegel from Cowboy Bebop.
Quit that.
To be fair, that was the only character I could think of, but I couldn't think of their name.
Dang it. Stop being so quick on me. My last clue was going to be swordfish. Or
Huh?
no, was it swordfish?
I think it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That's your name is Ship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope, you'd have been right there.
Well, there's an easy one for you.
Okay, remind me next time to leave a blank so people can guess on that are listening to us. Okay.
Nope, no, you want to go for that.
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
pretty sure anybody who would have heard those clues would have also thought
Yeah.
the same.
Yep. All right,
Okay.
here you go.
My turn?
Unless they don't know what a Jericho is. Jericho is his pistol name. It's an actual gun.
Yeah, I didn't know that part, but the smoker
Oh.
and hunter, I was like,
I was
okay,
going
so this
with-
is probably the guy from Cowboy Bebop.
I was going with the idea of Jericho, like from the TV series, like alone, isolated, and just traveling. So that's why I was going with. Okay, mine is a game series. It's a trilogy. Let's try to make sure I have it written here, and now I gotta scroll down and make sure I know my own clues.
Trilogy.
Religious metamorphosis, and each first letter for each chapter spells out something in the end.
Okay, I'm familiar with something like that. I don't remember this exact series. Religious metamorphosis. Each chapter spells out, or when all the chapters are.
Assassin's Creed.
Okay, that's your guess.
What was the first clue?
Trilogy.
Trilogy. Okay. I feel
How
like
many games did Assassin's Creed have?
Several.
Assassin's Creed had a
4 or
lot.
5?
It has 3 numbered ones, but in the second one there are 3 within
Yeah.
that.
And then there's
So
2.
mine's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, arguably. But I don't remember them spelling out anything with the chapters.
God of War.
I don't know why I can't think of what this is. So it's a trilogy game series that is about religious.
Have I played this game before?
something.
I don't think. Well, the thing is, you guys know that because I don't think you would have played it. You may have played it.
If it's a game, I most likely haven't played
Yeah,
it.
that's the problem with games.
Man, trilogy.
Star Wars.
See, I feel like the chapter thing is a bit of trivia that I knew at one point, but it's somewhere in the back of my mind that I can't pull forward. So I'll have to stick with religious aspects and the trilogy in order to get anything on it. Religious evolution, you said?
Metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis.
Alteration of religion, okay.
Well,
I'm going to go with Devil May Cry.
Oh, that's a good.
One
guess.
that I haven't played, so I can't really know about the chapter segment.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Should I make it easy?
Depends on how confident you
Make
are.
it
that
hard.
I'm
Make it
okay
hard.
with this
Make it
one.
hard.
Make it hard?
Giggity.
You really?
Yep,
Really?
Make it hard.
I don't think either you get this clue then.
Because I don't want him to get it.
And I won't get anything out of it. There's no point.
So you might want to make it easy then.
Yeah. Some of the most gruesome deaths.
God of War.
Didn't I already said that?
No, you didn't. You said Assassin's Creed.
No, after I said Assassin's Creed, I said God of War.
Yeah, but your
Wow.
actual guess was Assassin's Creed.
But I did say it.
Of the main character.
Kratos.
Okay, so you're saying God of War.
I don't
Dang
know.
it! I should have made it easier.
Was that not right?
It's not right.
Oh. Well, then I'm not arguing.
Okay, well then, can you pick?
I can't think of anything. I'm going to say...
It's a horror game if that helps.
PT.
Nope. The answer is Dead Space.
Oh,
What's it spell out?
Each game has something that spells out something. Each chapter has the first letter,
Uh-huh.
and there are like 13 chapters each. Each one spells out something different. The first one was Nicole is dead, because that's spoilers. That is your wife that you're trying to find on the ship. So each chapter is like never go this way or something like that. And if it line them all up, it spells Nicole is dead.
I think I only played one Dead Space game.
That's the first one then. And the religious metamorphosis, because they believe that Unitarianism is actually, when they turn into mechmorphs, they're actually becoming a new religion. They're using that idea to actually use that as a religion.
Huh.
wait. Did you just say that when they change form from human to necromorph, that they're changing religions?
That they're using that as a religion base. So when they die,
So
they
forced conversion?
yeah.
But they haven't been shown to have any form of logical or cognizant abilities above that of kill.
Well,
So that can't be termed religion, because religion is about
they made
belief.
a religion out of that. But remember, this is set in like 20 something. So they made a religion about becoming necromorphs. And that's why
I know that it was part of the story that
Mm-hmm.
whatever the object was religious in basis,
Mm-hmm.
but being a necromorph would not make you religious, because that doesn't follow the English language. That's not using the word right.
I know, but it's how it's set up in the game. And then what was the next one? What trilogy? Dead Space 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, anyway, my character. Getting agitated because of improper speech. Anyway, so video game character, Saber. I'm gonna try to make this tricky.
Really?
Yeah, because it's gonna be easy otherwise. Highly mobile, and if I can remember what this is.
He said video game character?
Yep.
Do-do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do,
I'm gonna double check it, because I don't want to say it and then have to correct it, because that'll ruin the clue. Har har har.
Yeah, I suck at beatboxing.
I think we all.
Pretty sure that is accurate. Yes. Okay. And then I'm gonna go with Akai.
Kai.
Akai.
Okay.
Akai.
Yep. Shulk.
Nope.
Who's the character? No, you already used that one.
Wait.
You already guessed.
We can't have multiple guesses?
You get another one at the end of the clue.
That's not fair.
Okay, I'll tell you what. You can have another guess after he guesses.
Okay.
and
Can
then
you
he
repeat
get
them
the
one more
next-
time?
Akai,
Mm-hmm.
Saber,
Mm-hmm.
highly mobile.
Have I played this game before?
I don't think so.
Is it a new game?
No.
Dang it.
So I was thinking
Striker. I don't know.
I was thinking Fire
Strider?
Emblem.
Strider.
No.
Ah.
Okay. You had another guess?
No, you
Okay.
destroyed it.
All right. Overpowered in almost every game they are in.
Saber. Overpowered. Akai. Is that the sound of the voice? Akai! A saber. I'm trying to think of
The
any...
fact that I knew that and just had to double check it and that you don't is actually kind of funny.
Me?
Yeah.
Huh.
With the amount of anime that you watch, you should know what that is.
Akai. The word Akai.
Yeah.
A-K-A-I.
Yeah.
I've probably learned it, but when I learn things, I forget things.
It's a color. I'll give you that.
Red?
I'm trying to think of a main. Dang it! I'm trying to think of a Fire Emblem character.
I already asked if it's Fire Emblem. He said no.
I did? Oh, I guess it wouldn't be considering. Well, arguably, there hasn't been a new one out for it in a while.
I thought you
Fire Emblem has a new game out, but
Yeah,
the
that's what I was
character's
talking
not
about.
from a new game.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to think of the name. Like,
so is there a character from Fire Emblem? Okay, so who's the character in Smash Brothers? Korra? No.
Close, Corrin.
Corrin.
But Corrin doesn't have anything to do with Akai.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to think of
You can figure out what that is.
like what.
I'll give you a hint. Pyrrha has Akai.
Red? Gold?
Trying to think like Lucia's father's name.
A sword? A shield?
Promise you you're thinking.
Red hair? Okay. I don't know.
Well, it depends if you make that fate happen.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
No. She's always the daughter of Crom.
Really?
Yeah.
Because in my game, I actually got them together.
No. It's you get two then. You get her and
A second offspring.
yeah.
If you're a female.
Yes.
But if
But
you're a male.
that's the only way that you can have Crom.
Yeah.
I give up.
I was going to guess the father. Well,
Okay. Well, Akai is red.
Yay!
Beam Saber is the full segment of the first clue.
Beam Saber.
Yep. And
Red
then-
Beam Saber.
Well, the Beam
Or
Saber is
the-
not red.
Right, but or the
They
person.
are red. They use a Beam Saber. They are highly mobile and overpowered in almost every single game that they're in. Still no answer?
Okay, any Star Wars?
Raku Hoha.
Who's that?
Huh. I figured that Tien would have gotten that one. Zero.
you've used Zero before.
That was actually before we played the game, though.
He's right.
Ah, God,
Inside the car.
that's why I didn't think of Zero. I was like, oh, he won't use another person again.
That was before we actually started recording.
That's why I didn't guess Zero, because I was going, oh, he used Zero. We can't use the same characters. That's why I didn't even think about that.
All right, so what is the answer of last week's?
Well, no, okay. Our next three clues for this week is.
We can still answer what it was last week.
Oh, okay. So the answer last
So the
week,
final clue was
The final clue was
Dragon
always
Sword.
with Dragon Sword.
okay, and the answer is
Ryu Hayabusa.
from.
A lot.
Yeah, he's in like 3 different games, but his main game is
I thought it was
Ninja
just Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden, Dead or Alive, and he's in Warriors of Orochi. And he's also in other things that aren't official.
You guys need to bring those games over and let me play them. I really want to play those.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see.
I'm sure you'd enjoy Dead or Alive.
Mm-hmm. All right. And then for this coming weeks, it's a anime character.
So you guys have a chance to guess these characters in the comments below. Put your answer, and these are the 3 clues.
De facto leader. Able to travel to a different world. And third clue, goggles.
So there's your 3 clues. Go comment below. Give us an answer. If you win, you get a digital high five.
Yay! All right. So we're now moving on to
Gaming.
gaming. And we'll start off with, or we'll talk about Nintendo Direct. How did you feel about the Nintendo Direct this time, Adam?
I really enjoyed one specific aspect to it, that we are getting a second Gunvolt.
Okay.
I was expecting it to be around April, but it delayed until summer. So, well, not delayed.
What is
but announced
Gunvolt?
Gunvolt is the spiritual successor to the Mega Man Zero series,
Okay.
and my oh my, is it a good spiritual successor? It is all about fast-paced movement, managing your offensive and defensive options, moving around the stage, trying to rack up as many combos as you can. It's a very, very practice-heavy game if you want to do it well and just feel like a badass throughout the whole thing. The gameplay is where you shoot enemies to tag them. That's the minimum amount of damage. It deals like chip damage, one damage out of, say, thousands of health. So that's not your main form of attack. That's, like I said, tagging. Your next one is to place a lightning barrier around you, which deals about the same damage as your shot does if they're in contact with that barrier, but anything that's tagged gets shot with electricity for a lot more damage.
So what's the point of the game?
It's just like any Mega Man game or Mega Man Zero game.
Go beat the boss.
Yep. The storyline is something to do with mutants were created or developed, and that there's a company that's trying to abuse them and use their powers to basically be generators and military force or something. I don't really remember. I didn't play it for the storyline. I played it for the gameplay, and my oh my, is the gameplay good.
Okay, so that's one aspect you like.
I could talk about that one for a while.
I know, but we have to talk about all of Nintendo Direct, not just one game.
Oh,
So other things that got talked about at Nintendo Direct was, of course, Gunvolt. We also had more updates for a couple games. Splatoon was getting an update.
that's
Well,
what
I've
I
heard
didn't
a
think-
lot of people love Splatoon.
Splatoon's actually really fun.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to play it.
It's still that one that just has the big brush, the OP guy, the one with the roller.
No. There's nothing OP. Each class has its own uses. Like, there are people who are really, really good with sniper rifles. There are people who are good with the sprayers. There are people who are really good with the rollers. It's all very playstyle dependent. The better you are in a specific role, you're going to find more use with different classes.
I like sniping.
Yeah, it's sort of it looks fun. I've played a little of it. I just
Do you
suck.
guys have it?
No,
Yeah.
I don't
I
because
want to play it.
anytime when it's similar to a first person or anything when it's multiplayer and against each other, I suck.
Third person. I can deal with third person. I can see where I am in relation to other things, and I can move around properly. That's why I like that game.
What's another game?
More updates for Mario Maker, which
Yay!
we
Mario
have
Maker.
to. One of us has to play that.
I will totally play that.
I'm totally down for that.
But we got.
You can throw me the hardest stages, and I'll be
How
happy.
about this?
Yeah.
I'll build a stage and you play my stage.
No. There's a
Tell you what,
there's
as long as it's completable, I'm
Yes.
down for it.
No.
It will be
This is the
completable.
thing is, if he builds a stage, he has to beat it before he can put it online.
Before he can put it online, but he can still have me play it before he puts it
Oh,
online.
yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as long as it's deemed beatable, which I don't imagine you would be able to make a stage that is beatable that I wouldn't be able to beat.
have you watched any stages built? There's some crazy stages.
Yeah, but I think I could stump him.
You could definitely create some things that would be a challenge. The question is whether or not you know about the
Certain-
perfect spacing to where
Yeah.
I need to do it
I
pixel
don't,
frame
but-
perfect.
But I bet you it'd still be fun.
Okay.
What's another game?
Another one that they're talking about is Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions?
Yeah, it's from the same creators who did the
What's it look like? Let me see.
Persona series and the Shugi Tenchi series, and it's actually an RPG, and it's for the Wii U. So
Didn't
that's
that game come out on the 3DS?
no. This is going to be an official Wii U game, which is interesting because they haven't made one yet for Wii U.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be a good aspect. I love RPGs. Those are fun series, so I think it'll be a pretty interesting game.
You missed the part where it's a mixture of Fire Emblem.
I thought it was a mixture of both Persona and Fire Emblem.
It is.
Yeah.
So
that sounds cool.
that's the part that's the reason I'm picking it up. At first I was like, I don't know anything Fire Emblem. I'm gonna pick this up.
I have a feeling
Yeah.
Sweet Kicks might like this
Oh
game.
yeah, a lot of people will. And I didn't put that up because, as I said, I've seen things about it already about the custom costumes and characters. It's sort of a fusion of both, so it's nice.
So a lot of DLC.
It's gonna be,
Cool.
which is always funny with Nintendo. Okay, next one that I have no information on really is called Lost Reavers. It's a online multiplayer zombie fighting and puzzle solving game from Bandai. Oh, I may even play it. I actually didn't see this because I must have left the room, but don't know much about it.
What's it called?
It's called Lost Reavers. It basically combines puzzle solving, adventure game, and zombie fighting.
Did you say Lost Reavers or Lost Reverse?
Or Lost Reefers?
Reavers.
Reavers, okay.
Yeah.
Reavers.
I did see the trailer for that. It looks clunky.
Yeah.
And now they did say that they're doing an open alpha or beta for it. I don't remember which one. So
Beta.
if they are working on the beta,
I think so.
okay.
I think I read that earlier.
But
I'll double check.
Yeah.
the if the clunkiness is worked on for it, it looks like it could be pretty good. And for a lot of people, they're not going to be bothered by the clunky. But for me, I like mobility. I don't like standing in one place and swinging a sword for hours.
I could get used to that.
So it's
Well, you also like
The old school Final Fantasy.
no what's the one where I made Officer Pine?
Oh, Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
no. Dynasty Warriors is mobile combat. This one is I'm going to stand here at this choke point and mash the attack button until the thing's dead.
Oh.
Not a fan of that. So you would it would work like this. You stand in a hexagon shape of some form, you mash the attack button until all the zombies are dead, and then your healer turns around and heals you guys while you do a rotation of some sort. That's the clunkiness I'm talking about. I don't like clunky controls. A good example is the one that had 5 and 6 were bad, but 4 was good. Resident Evil.
Oh.
4 is a game that everyone really likes.
Yeah.
I can't stand playing it because I can't move functionally.
I like 4.
It's just not something that I can do. I can't deal with not being able to move properly, and I move like a clunky 4-year-old in that game. So
Explain what a clunky 4-year-old looks like.
okay, imagine being able to only walk in a straight line ever, and then you have to turn left in order to walk in a straight line in a different direction.
Sounds more like a drag racer.
Sure, a clunky 4-year-old drag racer. But I mean, yes, you can optimize the movement to where it doesn't look and feel like that in total, but the aspect for it itself is still not something that I can get around.
I don't know. I like the 1, 2, and 3 better.
Is there any other games that are coming out?
Oh
for it?
yeah. Paper Mario Color Splash.
Yeah, that looked really weird.
They're fun, but I don't know. I just don't like them as much comparably to because basically Paper Mario is sort of like their equivalent of one of the pathways to try to get Super Mario RPG. That one and the Mario and Luigi team. Those are the two things that they try to use to get the idea of Super Mario RPG back. Pocket Card Jockey. It's basically made from the Pokemon Company.
Yep.
And it's basically solitaire and puzzles and horse racing.
To be honest, when I was seeing it first, I was like, eh. And then I thought about it and I was like,
Yeah,
if I picked that up, I would probably be addicted, so I'm not going to.
Yeah, that's why it seemed like it's from the Pokemon Company. They know how to do addictions and make you want to just keep playing.
I looked at it and I was like, wait, solitaire, I know I can lose hours of time just to that.
Yeah.
And then it was the strategy of when to use your boosts and everything like that. I was like, crud.
So think about
and then
it,
it said,
trying-
and then you get to breed your horses, and I'm like, no!
Ow!
Ow, gosh, dang it, man.
Too much excitement.
But yeah, that's
This is the same thing as Pokemon, except in a different form. I can't allow myself to lose another 1,000 hours to something else.
see, that's why I was like,
Hey, Adam, to backtrack a little bit, Lost Reavers is going to be opening up with a beta earlier, April 14th.
Okay.
And then we have Hyrule Warriors Legends, which is basically the 3DS version of Hyrule Warriors.
Yep.
Which I could get into. I like Dynasty Warrior style games, so that'd be fun with me.
I think I think that would be fun.
Bravely Second End Layer. I'm gonna get that. I don't give a crap. I love Bravely Default. I really enjoyed that game. So
My biggest question for the new character Linky or Linkle or something is if you're fighting with 2 crossbows and one's in each hand, how in the heck do you reload?
it's a RP. It's a game, dude. Doesn't
Maybe it
matter.
automatically reloads.
Why are you putting a lot
Yes, somehow.
Why are you
I
putting?
mean, unless she's really, really good with her pinkies.
Really, you going with that now? It's okay.
I'm really,
it would make
really
sense
good.
with a bow and arrow because you're not holding 2 bows in each hand. Now, when you have a crossbow in each hand, you have nothing to reload with. Like,
Wow.
I'm guessing that if they're going to give her a reload animation, she's tossing one up in the air with flare, loading the other, and then doing the same with the other.
Or she could be having, it could be one
But
built
it's
with.
loaded with like 50 freaking arrows at once, which doesn't make sense for a crossbow. I don't know.
Why are you putting logic in a crossbow in an RPG from Square Enix?
I'm pretty sure they're actually clubs just in the shape of crossbows.
Okay, well, I'm still excited for this game. I love Bravely Default. As I said, they're going to actually release a demo.
What's the game called?
Bravely Second.
Ah, okay.
I hated the Facebook style of that game where you needed to make a bunch of friends and then use their powers or grind for years in order to get the abilities yourself.
Yeah. As I said, I just played it. I didn't deal with that much. I did it once in a while if I met a friend, but I did not deal with that. I just played it without that aspect.
So a lot of grinding.
How
Yeah,
many more games are out for this?
More grinding than a standard night at a club.
You've seen how many hours I put in that game. Put quite a bit.
I believe it. You
Yeah.
have to in order to play that game without having to Facebook friend all of your other players.
And then a couple more. We have Dragon Quest VII being made for the 3DS. I like Dragon Quest series. It's actually still the most popular series in Japan. Final
Yep.
Fantasy's number 2, so that's always fun. Though I wish they would make something new, which supposedly they are. We'll save that for last. Next is Rhythm Heaven Megamix.
Yep, I think I would actually play this because I like the Rhythm Heaven games.
Yeah, they look interesting, and I don't think they made a new one for a while, have they?
It's been a couple of years.
So that'd be interesting. And then the last one, because I know we're going to have some converse, Metroid Prime Federation Force.
So they actually spent the most time of the Direct on this one. And for good reason. I will say this. They are making sure that people know that it's a game that they actually want to do well for multiple reasons. They want to be able to expand on the story of that universe using characters that are outside of Samus, because Samus's point of view should be that kind of isolated feel. At the same time, the game itself is very much not directly tied towards the same style of gameplay that a Metroid game is, which is it's Monster Hunter in the Metroid universe. They went over details of how you can change up your class type and how you can support your teammates and what kind of loadout you have. But the gameplay itself actually sounds fun. It's a matter of if we switch route and go with that as the mainstay of Metroid.
They're going to stick with that mainstay and just follow that
Yeah.
path.
Like if that game does well, then it creates a conundrum. We lose out on what Metroid is and instead get this or Other M, which are both terrible. Well, okay, this one's not terrible yet. It hasn't been released. But Metroid Other M is terrible. And then we get this, which isn't anything related to Metroid Prime or Super Metroid at all. And go ahead.
I was going to say, so do you think this is just a last resort of the gaming as a, hey, is the fandom big enough to keep us going, even if we release something that sucks, so we can revive back into the good games?
No, it's a very different type of thing. Metroid Other M, I think, sold pretty well initially. I don't remember the exact figures. It's been a long time since I looked at anything on it. But based on reaction afterward, fan reviews, critic reviews, things like that, it did really bad for good reason. It was a bad game. It matches Final Fantasy 13 in letdown level. And then the last really, really, really good Metroid game is arguably Metroid Prime or Metroid Prime 2, depending on if you liked 2 or not. 2's downfall was a lot of backtracking, longer segments, a more difficult to remember map with intricate conundrum or difficult.
Difficult.
Different?
Yeah, a mixture of the two. The maps were
Different.
Yeah, the maps were linked in a way that you had to go back through the portal, so finding your way to the spot that you needed to be could be a pain in a lot of cases because you were backtracking through areas that you've been multiple times just to get to the portal that would allow you to go to the area that you needed to get to through the other world's connector point.
I don't want to play this game.
It by no means is it bad. It's just that it's counterintuitive in a lot of ways to where if you didn't like that enough, 1 would be a lot better. But if that didn't bother you, 2 is in the same category as 1.
All in all, well, with this one, I still don't know. As I said, I played Metroid when it was like
Super Metroid?
Yeah, Super Metroid, old school Metroid, the isolation and the third person side scrolling. You know that a lot of games now that has a Metroidian feel. A lot of people say, and I just didn't want to switch to first person. I know that gives an aspect, but I have plenty of games for that. I mean, the BioShock first one did that aspect.
BioShock's awesome.
And I like the first person if it has a story. That one I bet you I would enjoy. It's just not what Metroid I want. I wanted that sort of feel that it's.
Did you play Fusion?
No, I didn't actually.
Metroid Fusion added story elements, which, in my opinion, strangely detracted from the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain it. I guess in some games, sometimes it's better to leave the story to the side.
Yeah.
But that place to the side, Metroid Prime's story was never told through narrative. It was only told through scans and minor cutscenes, not through dialogue, but what was happening.
Yeah. But that also saved it from being like other
Right.
M.
It was because if you wanted to pick up on the full depth of what was going on in the story, you had to look for it personally in the environment itself. It wasn't forced on you. So if you just wanted to play through the game like you would, say, a Nintendo game where the cutscenes were skippable by pressing start, or never, you had the cutscene at the beginning of the game and the cutscene at the end of the game, and that was it. You totally can play Metroid Prime exactly like that. So that is probably the best way to tell a Metroid story, because you are alone. There's not going to be anyone talking to you. And they tried having the superior officer in Other M. I don't think there's a good way to go about that, because the closest thing that there was in Fusion was where in elevator scenes you would have heard dialogue about past events relating to her previous general, who in Other M commits suicide like an idiot, as opposed to any form of logic, which would be go to another part of the ship and jettison the part of the ship that is filled with Metroids into his sun. I don't know why you would think I'm going to go into this section of the ship and jettison this part of the ship from within this segment of the ship that's filled with Metroids, as opposed to going to another part of the ship and just jettisoning it. Like, nothing about that is logical. I don't care if there's controls that are only on that part of the ship that allow it to be jettisoned. You have computers. You can reprogram things. You can send codes through to the other things. That room is not completely isolated to itself. There is no reason that you would have to go into that room to do anything unless there was circuitry that was damaged to the point where you were unable to send information to that. But guess what? If that was the case, you'd have had to have rewired it in order to get it to function in the first place. None of that made any sense. That game was bad on so many levels.
Speaking about good, logical Nintendo games,
I lost. What happened?
Ace Attorney at Law.
Ranted.
Ace Attorney at Law.
Yes, what about it?
They are coming out with a new anime for it.
I guess this is our final thought then.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming out with a new anime. I heard Adam likes the Ace Attorney game.
Yeah, they're really fun. They've got a lot of good dialogue. The gameplay is actually very involved. It forces you to think logically through a lot of things, unlike Other M, and allows you to feel a sense of accomplishment as you go through the game.
The only thing I know about it is the objection thing. That's all I know about the game.
Well, it's the objections and things like that are actually how you progress, because you have to respond properly in order to progress the story and the case to where you can complete it. Actually, towards the end of the game, some of those puzzles can really force you to focus and see, every little detail to the point where you can actually solve the problem.
Have you got to play the game, Tian?
No, I haven't. I want to play it. It looks like a fun game series, so I want to try it.
So, Adam, since you have played, you're the only one that's played the game. Do you think it'll make a good anime?
Absolutely. Actually, I think it's probably one of the strongest candidates for an anime out of the video game or series into an anime.
I think it's kind of cool because it's opening up a new genre. It's opening up like a court system kind of,
Like what?
like
Law and Order type?
Yeah, like a Law and Order, or like it's kind of like a mystery. You got to work in your brain also to figure these things out.
So it's like
and it's going to be,
like a crime drama.
yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
a crime drama, but for anime.
Okay,
So
I was like, we've seen a ton of those.
it's kind of cool to me that they're opening up a court system anime.
Okay.
I'm surprised that there aren't any.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
I think there probably are. They're just
we-
not as
that's
common.
not good. Okay. So,
I have a final thought
okay.
because I have a debate to pick with TN.
Oh, God.
Okay, so
This may take a while, folks.
in Gintama
Yes.
news,
Yes.
we heard that. Hang on, where did it go? Right here. We heard that Hideki Sorchiya reported in his 63rd Gintama volume on Friday that he is starting the manga's final arc
Yeah.
this year.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you know about it, Tian? Because I know you haven't seen very many episodes or any.
Mm-hmm.
But hearing this, what do you think?
I'm thinking that if he's starting his final arc, that means it could follow the Bleach pathway because I read that article and it said it doesn't have to end this year. It could end next year,
Also,
but
yeah.
it's its final piece before it ends. This is its final chapter, final segment. So it could run for quite a while. It's just after this, there's no more Gintama.
Okay, so my debate here is, and it's awesome. The perfect timing worked out awesome because I'm on like episode 150 something.
Yeah.
Well, they just had an episode to where they were like, and okay, you also have to remember when you're watching this show, it was airing in Japan at the time. So, and they didn't know how many episodes or seasons were coming out.
Yeah.
So within season 4 is where I'm starting right now. They're like, we're sorry to inform you, but this is going to be our last season. This is going to be our final episode. We have issues with Shonen Jump. They're shutting us down. We're sorry, but this will be our last episode. They do this every end of the season
Yeah.
in the anime.
Yeah.
And most likely in the manga. So what I'm thinking, and they make it a big deal. They're like, we're real sorry that this is the last episode. And they make it a real big deal. And it's really funny because they backtrack to the very beginning of the episode of the whole anime. It's a great fourth wall dimension break. It's hilarious. Like I said, they do it all the time. I think the creator, Hideki Sorachi, 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 Sorachi. I think this is just him doing it again, except in a bigger way. So I think it's gonna keep going. I just think he's getting it more hype. He's like, oh man, guys, I'm sorry, but this is the final arc. And then at the end of the arc, there'll be an episode or a thing in the manga where it'll be like, we're just kidding. Here's another arc. So
I could see it going actually one of 3 different ways. One would be like you're describing, where it's a fourth wall break and a third wall within the confines of that kind of weird shenanigan thing. April Fool's joke of bad proportions.
Yeah.
Another one would be where instead of doing the normal, this is the final episode, it's where they're like, we just got renewed for 8 more seasons. See you guys next week.
Yep.
And then, or, another one where like, okay, so we usually make a joke about how we have the final episode. This one's not a joke. Or, something along those lines.
And I know everyone's going to think, like, especially in Japan, nah, he's just kidding.
Yeah. And then another one would be, what was option 3? God, I remember there was. Did I say all 3 right there?
You said 3. You said 4 options.
I said 4 options?
I thought you did.
I thought it was 3 options.
I thought
You
said,
probably said 3, but held up 4.
Okay.
I think, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's going to keep going because I hope and think that it's going to be as long as Dragon Ball Z minimum, as long as One Piece maximum.
See, I think he's telling the truth. The reason why is he started this series at 2004. It's now 2006. That's what, 12 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, yeah, 12 years for any series is quite a long time.
Yeah, it's very long. And it's
especially
good reasons.
And then you have to think of his style of writing. You told me it's zany, it's insane.
It's very zany.
it can get to a point where he can be just like going, I need time off. I need to end this in a way. And he made it in as himself in the 63rd volume.
He's actually in it a few times.
Yeah, but this is him as writing. I think it says as a note, not him as a character in the manga, but as a note, as a side thing. I don't think they usually mention that in that way. If it's like him as a character inside, he will do that. And with that, he also went to a a fiesta and said, "Yeah, this is going to be my final arc in public, in front of people."
Yeah, but I think that's just another thing that he's doing on purpose. Because he's done these kind of things all these throughout the anime. He's like, I got to make it bigger. I got to make it feel like it's for real this time.
That's
I'd
the
say
thing. You would
10% probability you're right.
Yeah.
90% probability Tian's right.
I don't doubt that. I'm wanting to believe
You want
mine.
to, but that's the thing. You love the series. You don't want it to end. But,
Exactly.
But you have to also think if he's done it for 12 years, and this is his final arc, he's going to have to make it end really well, and he doesn't want to drag it out and weaken it and make it stuttery, slow, and stuff like that.
Turn
And it
into a
could also
Naruto.
go the same
Yeah.
way as Dragon Ball Z, and then, 20 years later we get another episode?
Yeah, and that'd
Yeah.
be nice. Getting that little spurt here and there. If people want it back, he could rework on it. But he wants to at least go on his note. And yes, Shonen Jump, he keeps mocking them, but you have to think about this. He keeps mocking them, and they haven't canceled him.
Well, it's because
Yeah,
he's making it
yeah,
a joke, but it's
Yeah.
at the same time, it's promoting them
Yeah.
in a good way.
yeah, and
Well,
that's
it's actually a double-edged sword in a couple different ways. One, he's making fun of them for valid reasons.
True.
yeah,
He's making them money for valid reasons.
yeah,
And as long as it's making them money, and another thing is as well,
depends on
no
the people
publicity
running.
is bad publicity.
Yeah,
So even if
True.
they are making fun of themselves, it should be in good humor, but at the same time, it's
You could find out-
really accurate.
yeah, and you get that one boss and one management that's real that you pissed off, and things can happen. But I just say he wants to break, and a lot of people are like that. I mean, they want to end it on how they
Wait,
want.
you're saying that people don't want to be doing the same thing all of their life?
Yeah, well, you look at me right now. I got nothing to do. I'm trying to do something with my life. But I'm saying he wants to end it. He's going to end it well. He's going to do this as long as he wants. He could write for another 2 years, like from now till the end of December of next year, and that would be the final arc. Bleach is doing that right now. So
And see, like I'm saying, I wouldn't mind it ending. I like long going animes, like Dragon Ball Z, One Piece stuff. Even though I haven't started One Piece, but I like long drawn out animes with long seasons because to me it gives him more depth. So I mean, it's cool if he stops it because he'll probably end it in a really well way or really good way, or not.
He will end well, really the end of the well in it. and
As
end
it does.
well.
yeah,
So if it ends awesome. I'll be able to move on, but I don't want to.
To be
I know.
fair, though, at the rate of watch that you are going, you've still got around 12 years left of watching it.
I've got a while to go.
Yeah,
'cause
so,
I think they're on
you know.
episode like 371.
and see, that's the thing. You got like half the episode, so you don't know how it is up in that middle area, and
Yeah.
you don't know, and that's
they
and
could be covering
yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
So
All
you
right.
know.
You have any final thoughts, Dean?
Well, one was that you tried Pokemon Go to register, and that didn't work.
Yeah.
You-
Pokemon Go is giving out these field tests, and you can sign up to get the field test.
Only in Japan.
But yes, it is only for Japan.
But if you know how to make a proxy to Japan, tell us.
Yeah, please,
Well,
we would love to try.
Here's another thing, though.
Now, there-
if the proxy is only in Japan, that doesn't
Then-
mean you have to be in Japan to
Right.
do field chess because it's only active in Japan.
There is a way around it, but you have to do something that I didn't try yet. I just went
No. If Pokemon Go, as it has been described to a lot of people, is where you go to a specific physical location.
Oh.
Yeah.
So even if you do manage to create your account, you're still not going to get anything out of it because
This
you would
is
have
true.
to go to Japan in order to try it out.
Yeah.
You can take fake images.
Go to Google Maps.
I mean, yes, you could probably spoof your location over to Japan in order to get the GPS to locate you there somehow.
Oh, actually,
It's all programming, so
Yeah,
that's
I-
possible.
I actually have that program.
Yeah, so yeah, it's entirely
That
possible
sounds
for you.
super illegal.
Yeah.
Well, it would depend on what you're using it for, because
I use it
spoofing
for-
your location is just where you're getting information sent to a different thing. I don't think that part's illegal.
Hey, I'm using it for a
It's
One Piece
how
game.
you use it
Ah.
that can be illegal.
Okay, so was that all your final thoughts, Dean?
crap, I had another one. Okay, Adam, go ahead while I think what the other one was. You have a final thought?
Go watch Ruby.
That's going to be your
Sounds like
constant.
an ongoing.
Yeah, that's your
Final thought.
Dude,
Okay.
I'm
I have
addicted.
one last final thought
Yeah.
for all you Sailor Moon fans out there, as they sigh.
No.
If you guys like custom credit cards, you can now get
A 14-year-old schoolgirl in a very, very short miniskirt stamped on your card.
pretty darn close. It's a pretty much Sailor Moon credit card. It's got Sailor Moon on the front.
So what you're
And-
saying is you want to take it to the club?
Oh my God! Think about you pull that out.
Looks like there's a lot of cool other things too. If you guys want to check it out, go to Anime News Network and you'll see it.
And
It's
the
a
link
little-
will be below.
Yep, we'll have the link below too. So it's pretty cool.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I could read that.
Yeah, you could.
All right, go to facebook.com/nerdlag podcast if you guys want to follow us and listen to more of the episodes. And you can follow us on SoundCloud at SoundCloud/nerdlag. And you can go to YouTube, go up in the search bar, type in nerdlag. That's NERD, capital L.A.G. And you can find our channel. Just click on the channel, subscribe, like, share. We're also on Twitter at nerdlag podcast. And we have a website, www.wordpress.nerdlag.com. Lead us out, Tien.
All right, guys. Remember, don't regret the things that you do. Regret the things that you don't.
I'm Zach. I'm nerdy, dirty, and flirty.
I'm queen of the castle. I'm queen of the castle.
What's that from?
What?
All right, bye, guys.
Meep.